Hello there guys and girls, because according to YouTube analytics about 10% of you are, to another episode of Age of Wonders 3. Now since the last time I played this game, since video 9, there has been a patch, and despite a long list of patch notes, it doesn't seem to change an awful lot. It's mainly balance changes, just adjusting the hit points and the damage output and resistances of a few units. There have been a couple of other tweaks as well. Some of the spells that allow you to summon various creatures and units have been adjusted slightly to change which type of creatures and which level of creatures can be summoned with those spells. All in all, I don't think it's going to alter gameplay all that much, so I wouldn't expect to see anything really different from the previous videos. So let's get straight in there. Now obviously at the last sort of videos, what I was trying to do was go around and take up these remaining cities on the east side of the map. Now unlike Civilization or Warlock and things like that, the map isn't cylindrical. You can't go off one edge and come back on the other. So if I can lay claim to all of these cities on the east side of the map, then I will actually have complete control over the east side of the map, which will be much safer for me. It means I will be able to sort of not worry about what's going on over here and turn my attention in the opposite direction. So we are going to have a look what we can do. I'm going to move this unit up here actually, because we do have something up here that we could do with having a look at and clearing out. Heart of the Tropics, unexplored by Independence. We're just going to clear as many of these out as we can, just so we get this side of the map sorted. This might be a nice place for a settler, actually. If we can actually... What have we got going on over here at this city? We've got a shooting grounds and we've got a war hall, and I think we will queue a settler up for after that. We've got a couple of other cities that we can produce at. Again, we'll go for the Shrine, Shooting Grounds and War Hall. Seems fairly standard. Got to be careful on the money, though. We don't want to overspend. This is our dwarf metropolis. Now, the hospital will give us some additional happiness and population. Also helps us regenerate garrisoned units. The temple could be useful as well. So, yeah, let's get the temple first, and then I think we'll leave things there because obviously we're going to start running short of money. So we'll go into a few turns of merchandise at that city. And we have an army here that requires orders. Ancient ruins unexplored. Of course, we need to go in there, don't we? Should we? We probably should. It should be relatively easy because it's only classed as strong, and the strong ones are normally fairly easy. So let's go and have a look. What have we got to deal with? 2 tier 1 boars and a tier 3 ogre. That should be relatively straightforward to deal with. So I know that one of my neighbours, the guy on the west side of the map, does like to constantly declare war, and I'd like to be able to keep all my forces over on that side and keep an eye on him and stop him from being able to move in on my territory. So if I can lay claim to all these places on the east, then at least that means I'll be able to stop worrying about what's going on over there, and I'll have one half of the map that is nicely my own where no one else can bother me. So I've got a lot of archers here. I could probably take these boars out quite easily with the archers, which is probably what I'll attempt to do. I've actually got a little more health than I expected. Now, I know one of the changes that has been made is a change that stops a unit from being able to get promoted more than once per battle. So you can't just use one unit to finish off enemy units and get that unit promoted 2 or 3 times in a battle. It no longer works. It's only one promotion. Now, these guys are very nearly dead, but not quite. It would be nice if we could actually take out the ogres, but they're probably going to have quite a bit of health wherever we go. Oh no, we don't get the line of sight penalty there, which is quite good. We do a fair bit of damage, not as much as we would have liked. Going to move the Storm Sister up a bit. We will get 3 shots. We will get a ranged penalty. Not quite enough to kill them, unfortunately. Still have a few units left here. I think what I am going to do is I'm going to move forward with my Forge Priests and get them to fire at the boars. It might be enough to finish them off with any luck. Not quite. I was hoping it would be, because then I was just going to use my leader to charge the ogre. Because the ogre only has 9 hit points left, so I should be able to charge the ogre without getting any retaliation at all. Which is exactly what happened. I was hoping that the boar would die, and it did not, but it had bleeding on it anyway from the archers, so it died at the end of the turn. Brilliant. So that's that cleared, and we didn't take a single piece of damage from it. We get ourselves a 24 research. We also get ourselves a shield, which gives us +1 defense and +1 resistance. I'm going to take it because... oh, I do actually have a shield already, but I will send that then to someone else who could make use of that. Let's give it to you, because I don't think you have a shield at the moment. A lot of junk here. They really need to do some sort of way of trashing stuff that you've got duplicates of or you don't need. I know you can just drop it on the ground, but it always seems messy, and I don't like having to do that, so let's move around here now. We're going to have a little look over and see if we can nab this here. I don't think it's actually a city anymore, but if we put a settler on a city that has been raised, then that city will grow much more quickly. I know it's been a little while. Yeah, I've got a settler coming there. I was going to say it has been a little while, a few days since I last played, and I thought I'd seen that before when I queued up a settler, so that is obviously the reason why. Now let's remember that that guy there is our little friend to the west who likes declaring on us. I need to really keep an army around this city because he's very, very likely to try and attack. But that doesn't mean that I can't go out and do a little bit of exploration. We've got a relatively weak double unit there. It might even just run. No, it decided it doesn't want to. That's very, very strange for such a weak unit not to try and run away. But we'll go and deal with it in any case. So this is Mass Bless. Bless all friendly units on the battlefield. Bless units gain +2 armor and +2 resistance. Undead are unaffected by the spell. Again, remember that affects the defenders, so it's actually these guys that have that. And again, this is one of my crappy armies, really. It doesn't have an awful lot in the way of range, although it does have some hunters, which is quite useful. So we'll do as much as we can there. And we do have Animal Slayer on this particular army, which is nice. So we do get the bonus of being able to do a bit of extra damage with that. You're still out of range, which is a real shame. Do get 2 shots again, though. And again, we've got Animal Slayer. Let's use our Shaman. Shaman are actually very good. We do have the range penalty here because we're quite a distance away. But we've got the range strength. We've got the Animal Slayer. Still not enough to take it down. It's quite surprising. Definitely going to charge him with the Unicorn. I can't see any reason why that wouldn't end up in a kill with no damage. Yep, that's fine. We do still have our leader available to take an action. So I think what we are actually going to do is we are going to use our musket. We're a little bit out of range, so let's move forward slightly. We'll probably get it from there. Do we have it selected? Yeah, we do have a range penalty, but it should do quite a bit of damage if it doesn't kill it outright. And there we go. Brilliant. So another easy fight with no damage taken. Could have probably auto-resolved that one, but knowing the AI, I'd have probably ended up losing 3 of my units. But at least that's sorted. Gives us some extra mana. Let's bring you back down towards the city. We'll have a quick scout around here. We might try and grab this watchtower if we can, because I think that would be useful. You get an upgrade, so what are we going to give you? You're a Dreadnought, although we don't have an awful lot in the way of siege stuff, so I don't really think that is all that useful. All units in the hero's army gain 20% fire protection. Not sure we really need that. Melee and ranged attacks can inflict immolation. Immolation suffers +3 fire damage and -2 strength. Now, is that just damage from our hero or damage from the army? I'm assuming it's just damage from the hero, otherwise it would say hero must be leading the army for it to take effect. Repair machines, sabotage. Sabotage is actually quite useful if you want to take down machines or walls. I actually quite like that. And throw net is good as well because it gives you a way to actually take out a unit for a couple of turns. So we're going to go sabotage and we're going to go throw net and get some utility on that particular hero. There isn't an awful lot over here that we can do, but we should probably poke our head out and just see what's going on. We may get an opportunity. We're not going to be able to get that watchtower because it's actually in his domain. But I think we're going to need to patrol this border. We've also got something over here that I can't quite tell what we've got. And of course we now have our dragon. Now, as awesome as that's going to be, we're not going to take him out straight away. We're going to wait until these buildings are built, and then we're going to have a dragon to play with. Although, we could go and start taking out some of these dungeons, and you'd actually be surprised how stompy these dragons can be. Can we get there in one turn? Yeah, let's do it. Let's use our dragon and take out a unit. They've actually run, so let's just let them run. Brilliant. We capture that. Can we go over here? What do we have? Yeah, another couple of easy creatures, so let's take the dragon out. Very likely victory, and we've only got 1 unit. So this is a single dragon, and bear in mind, with the army sizes, we can have multiples. And dragons are good. Obviously, it's not going to be the most effective thing against the Draconians, because the Draconians do have fire resistance, and this is a fire dragon, but there are different types of dragon that do different types of damage, like frost dragons and blight dragons. The undead dragons do blight and various bits and pieces. How close can I get to you in a single turn? Not very close at all, so I'm going to move over here just so that I can stay out of range. I'm going to hunker down and let you guys move forwards a little bit more. Now, I'm hoping to a degree they'll all keep quite close together, because it does make killing them slightly easier. Yeah, they're not in the best position for it. You're actually taking a shot, which is pretty ballsy. Again, they do fire damage, though, and my dragon is pretty resistant to fire. So, yeah, 60% fire resistance, which is a bit of a shame. But we can still go in there and do a double cook on those guys. Now, that does have a cooldown. It's a little bit weird the way it works, because you can't target a specific hex. It gives you a selection of hexes to target. So we'll do what we can. These guys are obviously going to get retaliating. And we've got fearsome as well. Fearsome actually means we fear enemy units, and that stops them from being able to retaliate or do anything. Also, well, I think it just reduces their attack power, actually. So they're doing very, very little damage to me, which I'm not overly concerned about. See, they've panicked now, which does something to them. I can't remember what, but they are panicked. Either way, they're going to get killed on this turn, so that's them destroyed. So we're going to take some more damage again from these guys over here, but it's nothing really, is it? And now we're just going to fly in and chomp on them. They've actually got 100% fire protection, so I need to do the melee damage to kill them. But look at that, 27 damage in a single shot. They probably will counter-attack because they're engaged. No, don't think they've chosen to do anything. Probably because they were panicked. Bit of a glitch there, and it sort of knocks them into a tile you can't move into. But at least that's those destroyed. Got some gold from that. Took a bit of damage, but nothing that we can't handle. Should probably go and get that at some point as well. Give us a bit more research. We will definitely go over there and get that watchtower, so that's going to be next thing on our list. So let's start moving over in that direction. Confirm our army movement. I can't remember where you were going to. You're heading up there. Oh, I remember. You were going to go up and lead our army up here that is dealing with things. That should be pretty much everybody dealt with. So, a new day has dawned. We have a new skill to research. We've researched Revitalize, so what should we go for now? Twisting Roots. Forces the roots that run deep in the earth to the surface, impeding all units moving on land. All walking units on the battlefield have their movement radius halved. That could be quite useful. It's only going to take us one turn to research, so we're definitely going to go for that. What do we have here? We have a ziggurat. I've never actually been into one of these, and it's mythical. Explore this holy site for items. When explored, adds 30 gold when located within your domain. Not sure I'd want to go in there without a leader, to be quite honest. We've got this thing over here. Now, it does have a tier 3 watcher, although the rest of the army seems quite weak. I do have a leader on his way up, though, so I think I'm going to wait for him to get up there before I really worry about doing anything. So let's go through the rest of these cities and see if there's anything more we need to build. Let's get a hospital going and a grand temple here. This is our elf city. I think we're going to go for the arena there and the public baths for some more happiness, and that'll lead to the hospital. Now we're going to start getting short of gold, so we're going to have a little bit more merchandise. We're doing well for mana. There is a mana cap as well. See, mana capacity is actually 1200, and we're already at 1200 at the moment, so we're actually at the mana cap. So if I've got any buildings specifically producing mana, they're quite pointless at the moment. You're just going to stay there for a while. Our dragon army can deal with these elves quite nicely. So that's exactly what you're going to do. Very likely victory. Well, of course it is. I think I just also noticed some dire penguins up there as well. So we'll go and deal with those shortly. But let's deal with the elves first. Of course, they do get to move first because they are defending. Got some initiates. They can't do an awful lot of damage, and they're swordsmen, so they're pretty much all ranged, melee units. So, can we actually cook all 3 of them in a single blast? So, if I actually use this fire breath and I actually try and move it around the map where I can target, as you can see, it actually selects groups of hexes. I can't actually pick a central hex and have it radiate around them. So, unless the enemy put themselves in a very specific place, then it's very, very difficult for me to actually hit them. What I am going to try and do here, though, is move forward because I am out of range of doing anything. And as you can see, where it's letting me place it, I can either hit this unit or I can hit these 2 units. So obviously I'm going to go for this one and get the 2 for 1. It's very, very rare that you're ever in a position where you can hit all 3. Although it would be nice. Now they get 1 attack, which does a fair amount of damage, actually. I mean, we don't have the resistance to the static like we had the resistance to the fire from the Draconians. So they can actually do quite a lot of damage to me, which is a little bit nasty. So all I've really got is my melee attack, so we're going to go on the swordsman. And the good thing is with the dragon, essentially, is it does so much damage that it can normally kill off most units, particularly tier 1s and tier 2s. It can usually kill off most units without them being able to do any damage in retaliation. So we're taking a bit of damage. We're definitely going to have to heal up after this battle. But what we're going to do for the time being is try and select the dragon, if it'll allow us. We are going to try and kill off all these units. There's another one dead. So these guys will get 1 more shot, doing 12 more damage. Again, it won't really hurt us all that much. I guess what I probably could do is cast a spell. If I've got the opportunity, we've got Holy Cure. We do have a double casting cost, but we could give the dragon a bit of a kickstart with his health. It just means he'll take a few less turns on the strategic map to recover. And we had plenty of mana in reserve. We get a promotion for our dragon as well. We have plenty of mana in reserve. Yes, we are using some of our casting ability, but that is not the end of the world. And then we're definitely going to go forward and claim some more of these things. But in the meantime, we're just going to leave the dragon around and just... until we have a use for it. Now, what are we going to do with you? I'm keeping my eye on you because I don't trust you. We cleared that one out. That was the ancient ruins. We need to go over there. You've just got 2 fairly weak units. Will you run or will you fight? No, you're going to fight. That is a strange one. Really wasn't expecting that to happen. Luckily, it should be a relatively short fight. And again, oh no, they go first. Of course, I was going to say there's a little bit of a delay there. They can't do an awful lot. They are melee only, which means they've got to get close to me, which is kind of sucky for them because that means I just do an awful lot of damage with my ranged units. They're not quite dead, but it will be after this hits. So there's 1 dead unit and then 2 lots of archers. In fact, we've got hunters here, which are even more deadly. So, surprised that didn't kill it, but there they go. Wonderful. At least that didn't take too long. Again, I could have auto-resolved it, but I often find when you auto-resolve battles like that, you end up losing a unit. And you sort of think that's really weird. How have I managed to lose a unit? That is absolutely ridiculous. We do get ourselves a warg, which is a a rank 1 creature. I'm going to take it because, you know, it's useful. And I'm going to move it over here into the city. We do have our settler here now. We are going to try and move that over here. Hopefully we'll be able to get here safely. We know this area is clear because we've just sent our warg through it, so that's fine. You are going to come and sit here on the city spot just to stop anyone else doing anything a little bit cheeky or sneaky. I think we'll just have you pop your head out here just to see what's going on, see if there's anything exciting happening. So there is an unexplored ancient ruins there. We may well have to go and investigate that. It's only strong again, so it's a relatively easy one. You still haven't quite arrived at your destination yet, so you should carry on. So let's hit M. We still have open borders with these guys. It would be nice if we could actually get them to join. They have a quest for us. These people are willing to push us out of our village, blah, blah, blah. Oh, right, that was it. We needed to go and destroy a Shrine of Smiting. And those things do a lot of damage. They are hard things to kill. But I certainly think we should do it anyway. Because I think what we can do is we can ignore this for the time being. We can bring this army down. And we can actually come down here and try and deal with that Shrine of Smiting. We might have to throw an awful lot of spell power at it. But that's certainly something that is doable. Isn't really anything else up here worth clearing. Just noticed as well, he's actually settled a city here, which is very, very annoying. I may well have to deal with that. I'm going to wait for him to declare war, because declaring war keeps giving me a negative rep. But the moment he declares war on me again, and let's be honest, he will, because he keeps doing it, I am going to run in there and nab that from him, because I can't allow him to keep that. That is just cheeky. But for the time being, you are certainly going to sit here in a most defensive manner. So let's end the turn there. I think we'll have one more turn before we call it a video, as loud sound effects almost deafen me. Ah, he's just moved into that. Ah, he's breaking the peace with me. Do you know what? Go for it. If you want to break the peace with me, feel free. I do not care at this point. Let's go for the next rank of Druidry. Three turns and we can get that. Right, what should we be doing? We've got this quest to do, so we are going... Can't quite get to the haste berries, which is a real pain, but we're going to move you down. We're going to merge you up, so we've actually got an army. Can't actually see where... Oh, they're down there now. They're actually moving quite far around the map. Well, we can't deal with that on this turn. We've got our dragon. We could go up here and deal with these dire penguins, actually, because they're not going to, like, fire, not one little bit. So let's actually nip over there as quick as we can. And we go to manual combat. We've met another city up there, another neutral, another independence. Now, what's this thing? Each combat round, greater healing showers restore 12 health to friendly units in a 2 hex radius around target random unit and dispel any buffs or debuffs present on those units, machine and undead, unaffected. So basically, every single turn, one of their units will get healed, and so will any units in a 2 hex radius around them. Okay, that's fine and fair enough. Let's move in nice and close. I'm betting that these penguins don't have an awful lot in the way of fire resistance. No, they have frost protection, but oddly enough, they don't have a fire weakness, which I thought they probably would have done. Can't hit all 3, which is as expected, so we'll do fire breath. We're still not fully healed, of course, so we do have to be careful. And of course, we've also got the problem that they get healed as well, so... Luckily, they also don't do an awful lot of damage. It's worth remembering that dire penguins are also vampiric, so it's very easy for them to get health back. So what we're just going to do is go chomp and kill them off. So we take a bit of damage, they get a bit of healing. They shouldn't be able to take the dragon out. At least, I hope not. If I lose the dragon now, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. They're getting panicked. They just got obliterated from my counter-attack, and this should obliterate those as well. We'll take a little bit of damage back, and they are dead. So that's one dragon. Imagine having an army of dragons. Then imagine having an army of dragons with a leader who has spells and stuff. Yeah. So let's just move forwards here so we can see this town. We've met this town, and, well... They haven't gone to war with us yet, and they are goblins, slightly evil, so we might be able to get ourselves a little goblin city here, but in the meantime we're going to move our dragon back, and he's just going to sit around until his health recovers, I think. Now you're going to stay here, because if he breaks the alliance on the next round, or goes to war with us, which I think he will, we're going to go in and nab his city, and that'll learn him. I was hoping we could take these ruins. I'm not 100% bothered about them. He's got a leader here who is a warlord. Now, it's quite possible that he's going to take these units in to try and take this thing and lose the battle. It's quite common for the AI to lose battles in that manner, so I'm not too worried about that either. He's getting a lot of units over here, which displeases me greatly. You are still trying to get to there, and it's going to take you a little while. Even on the road, you can't quite get there on this turn, which is disappointing. You're moving into the city. You are going to hold fast on that spot until we get the city there. You are going to wait around there until this little issue is resolved, which we'll probably find out on the next turn. And we will probably find out on the next video. So, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying the series, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.